Thank you so much for joining us on this Friday. I'm Alex Bell, and this is To the Point. Sacramento is on track to have more homicide-related deaths than last year. And last week, a man was shot and killed outside of a tennis club. Police say it was a robbery that was gone wrong. And then another man shot and killed at a high school football game. Chris Thomas spoke exclusively with the Sacramento Police Chief, Kathy Lester, as the city weathers yet another wave of violence.
Talk about in the short term, though, when you're dealing with things where you've got folks being shot on Friday night football, and you've got a 70-year-old man being shot in East Sac, and you've got 50 homicides, and we're not even done with the year. What are some of the short-term things you want to see happen, or that the public will see happen in response?
First of all, I want people to be held accountable, and I've said that if you're caught carrying a gun in our city and you're not supposed to have it, you should be held accountable, and we should do everything we can, working with our criminal justice partners to hold you accountable. I also think that we need to do everything we can to keep you from getting there in the first place, and that's why we work with our community partners.
You brought up illegal guns. Officers took more than 1,000 illegal guns off the streets, and you've collected more than 400 guns in 2 recent gun buybacks events this year. Putting you on track to surpass last year's total number of seized guns, and yet the gun violence continues. Talk about how frustrating that must be, and do you have a strategy then to say, well, if that didn't work, I'm gonna try this?
I've said it, I'll say it again, that community safety is a shared responsibility, and it takes all of us. It's not just the city, it's not just the community, and it's certainly not just the police department that can do this. So what we've done is we are really working in partnership with groups that we know do great work in the community. That's one of the great things about Sacramento. We have a lot of community-based organizations. They've been here for a long time, they have relationships, and they're proven to do good work.
Talk a bit about staffing, because we know the Sacramento Police Department is authorized for something like 769, but you currently have 684 sworn employees, leaving you about 85 folks short. Is police staffing an issue?
Oh, absolutely. Back in 2008, we used to have 804. So we're at 769. The city has grown. We've seen infill programs. We've seen the building out of Delta Shores, Natomas, all of this great stuff that you want to see in your downtown core. And I'll give you kind of an example, too, of kind of where we were about 10 years ago. We saw about 10,000 applications a year for the position of police officer. This year, to date, I'm less than 700. So that kind of shows you the decline in
what time frame?
And this is for the whole year.
So what I'm hearing you say is not only do you need more officers, you need more people willing to say, hey, send me, I'm willing to do it.
And we don't just hire anybody just to fill those numbers, And I think that's really important for police agencies, because everyone's under pressure to fill their ranks. I certainly would love to say, hey, we're fully staffed, but I can tell you it's absolutely about bringing the right people with the right heart and the right intentions on board to a police department in today's environment.
So you made history. First female police chief in the capital city, sworn in officially back in March.
Yeah.
So at the 6-month mark, how are things going?
If you look at just the city of Sacramento over the last couple of years, we saw, significant increases, about 30% of an increase in our shootings. Our homicide rate has gone up 70% between 2019 and 2021. And those numbers are not acceptable, because really, it's not just a stat that we're talking about. These are real people in our community, people that have families, people that have jobs, people that have a network of others that are affected and traumatized when these things happen. We've had help from the FBI, not just on resources, but with some analysis that has really helped us, because they do it at a really high level, and they really help our team of analysts. We were recently, and I'm very proud of this, we applied for the National Public Safety Partnership grant through BJA, which is under the Justice Department. And this grant is only given to a handful of cities every year, and we actually are one of the recipients. There are only 6 cities were awarded the program this year, and what that means for us, it's not a monetary grant, but it's 3 years of technical assistance where you have experts come in, take a look at what we are doing, and give us not only resources, but really take a look at our strategy and help us redesign it, help us make changes if we need to from work that they've done on other cities. And it creates a whole new relationship at the federal level to bring in resources.